The timeline is not so this is one of those things that it's not just your fault because it's also right. We'll let it go. This is something I have announcements, and I also understand because like some of the things like I always want to be announced at 8. But all of the things are happening right speak rapidly. Speak regularly so people can hear you. Oh, right. There's no one. I don't know. It was pretty interesting. Let's see. Okay, Laura, S. Are you ready, Tim?
I'm ready.
I feel like my microphone's on.
Good morning and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Wayne County. I am Tim Briner and I'm your worship associate today. We gather to worship, our hearts alive with hope that here we will be truly seen, that here we will be welcomed into the garden of this community where the simple and the elegant, the fluted and frilled, the shy and the dramatic complement one another and are treasured. May we know that here each contributes in their way to the beauty of the whole. Come, let us worship together. All genders, sexualities, politics, genders, clappers and non-clappers. That's what it says.
2 and 4.
Progressive or conservative. We will nurture the community of open hearts and minds, offering all a safe harbor for personal and spiritual growth. We will celebrate diversity and strive to provide compassion, dignity, and justice in the web of life. Your presence here today is a gift that brings us closer to that understanding. We are an active community that lives its values beyond the hours of service, of Sunday service. And I would like to call your attention to the following announcements. Today, following the service, is our annual landscape workday / potluck extravaganza. All ages are welcome. Potluck first, then we get busy. Please join us. Help, that's all caps, by the way. We need you, that's all caps, to help make the UUFWC clothing swap a success. Many more volunteers are needed for this Friday and Saturday, and we also need clothing racks to display clothes. Please sign up in the lobby or contact Mary Wicks. You may join the UUFWC Humanist Group in the Foss Large Group Room at 11:30 today to hear Ed Maurer, a retired AEP executive, share a presentation about energy issues, followed by questions and a discussion. The annual meeting will be held Sunday, May 19th, 2024. All are welcome to attend. Please check our website and online calendar for more information regarding events and activities taking place at the fellowship. If you would like to find out more about our activities, feel free to ask Karen Skubik our membership coordinator.
Thank you, Tim. And one other little announcement. Sharon just asked me to share that Charles Williams will be playing the prelude today because we don't have an order of service today, so I wanted to share that. Thank you, Charles, for doing that. And thank you, Mom, for coming to watch Charles. I would like to welcome all the visitors and anybody that's relatively new here, in addition to the rest of you and the folks online. Welcome, everybody. And it can be a little challenging to navigate a new place. So if you are new, whether that you feel new still after a year, I'd love to talk to you. I'll be in the back after the service. And our greeters on duty today, Bert's helping over there, and let's see, Jan Steinbrenner, I think she's still out in the lobby. So you can ask any of us questions if you have any questions about the activities that Tim mentioned or other ways to get involved. I would love to talk to you, and welcome to everybody.
Also, not on your order of service is me saying this right now. How many of you know that we have a flag that flies on the first Sunday of every month on the front of our... Right, it's the pride flag. There has been an initiative, a congregant has asked that we fly the flag every Sunday. And so when a notice came out to your emails that this needs to be voted on at the annual meeting. And in order for it to be voted on at the annual meeting, you must be informed that this is something to be voted on at the annual meeting. This is me informing you that this is something you need to be informed about, to vote about on the annual meeting. For some people, the issue of having that pride flag is a very challenging one, and I want to lift up that it means a lot for everybody on both sides of this issue. If you have any questions about what this means for our congregation to consistently fly this flag, I would encourage you to talk to our board members. Can our board members, any board members here, raise their hands? Talk to our members of the board, or if you don't like our members of the board, I don't know why not, you're welcome to come to me as well. But this is a very important issue that is about what our congregation means to the community, and I hope that you will make your opinion heard. Thank you. Call of worship. Call of worship, then light the chalice.
Good morning. I'm Jenny Papp, and I'm the Director of Religious Education here, for those of you who may not know this. And I'm glad you are all here today. I'm glad everyone's here today. Our worship services are as varied as our beliefs, and you can join us often to experience all sorts of different things. Today, people of all ages will be staying for the whole worship. And we are going to be celebrating Earth Day in this place of really beauty where we bring in the outdoors for ourselves. We have several additional elements for those who like to get involved in sensory things. These are for everyone. There are coloring pages you may take back to your seat if you would like. There is a huge coloring page right here on the floor. There is carpet to sit on. There is some soil. There is some sand. There is some Play-Doh. There are spoons, magnifying glasses, rocks, pots, paper towels, in case you're too soily. So I would really like to invite you to do that and play quietly. So like I said, tomorrow is Earth Day, and we're going to celebrate all of our interdependent connections to the earth and to all of the beings on the earth. We're not using this Sunday to tell you all of the bad and good things going on and what you need and that you need to care, because I think you all know what's happening and I think you all care. So what we're going to do is have a shared worship experience that might give some people the reset they needed, the inspiration, might give some people the new perspective that's a little refreshing, but trying to imagine something that is irresistible. Something that's irresistible that we have to do. We don't change our behaviors out of shame or, I don't know, pressure, punishment, even desire. So, we change them out of pleasure. We change them because we have the freedom to do that, and we change them because of love. So settle yourselves into this space. You can set down your demands. You can set down your what ifs, your buts, and your buts. You can set down the not todays. Here we can imagine the what will be. All those bees. What will be? We can renew and refresh our commitment as individuals, that commitment in our spirit to all the possibilities, both as individuals and community. So open your minds, please. Quiet your cell phones, please. Let's worship together.
Our chalice lighting today is number 434 in Singing the Living Tradition. As we light this chalice, a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith, may we be reminded here of our highest aspirations and inspired to bring our gifts of love and service to the altar of humanity. May we know once again that we are not isolated beings, but connected in mystery and miracle to the universe, to this community, and to each other. Let us not rise now in body and spirit as we sing our opening hymn. The music can be found in the gray hymnal, number 389, Gathered Here.
Struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
Good morning again. I'd like to renew my invitation to invite anyone who would like to join us a little closer to get, thank you, that's perfect. I better back up a little bit, make some more room. There's your name tag. I'm waiting for everybody to come up. Who wants to come up? Come on up, if you'd like. Welcome. Today, well, not today. Today we are celebrating what I think is the best, most Unitarian Universalist holiday that there is. The holiday is actually tomorrow, but we're going to talk about today. It's one that we can all get on board with. Anybody know what it is? Say it really loud, everybody.
Earth Day!
Earth Day. Yeah. Does any one of you know what year was the first Earth Day? Any of you? Any thoughts on that? What'd you say?
2020.
2020. Nope. The very first Earth Day. Okay, raise your hand. Yes, Julie?
Wait, no, that's
No? Okay, I almost stepped on your head. Raise your hand if you know when the very first Earth Day was.
freshman year.
There's a few of you. Okay, so how many of you were there on the very first Earth Day? Like there in some sort of gathering with other people recognizing it. There were a few. Okay, so what year was it? 1970. Yep. Nope, it was 1970. That was 1970. I was 3 years old, so I don't remember. I'm going to have to rely on them. 1970. I was smaller than all of you. That's a long time. 53 years ago, right? Yes. 53. Man, so long ago. Anyways, so who said they were there? Gail, you said you were there at some sort of organization for that day. So why did they do this?
It was the first Earth Day, and so all of our classes from high school, we went out to different roads and picked up trash that day. We got to wear pants.
Why did they come up with Earth Day?
I have no idea, but we got out of school for the day, so it was great.
Anybody have an idea why they came up with Earth Day?
There was this governor, I think, who saw that the earth was getting really trashy, so he made a holiday about it.
Okay, that could be. I wasn't there. I don't know. Yes? Why do you think they came up with Earth Day?
To help the earth.
To help the Earth. Anybody else?
William Proxmire brought the idea up in our government, and he tried to organize it in '69, but it happened in '70.
Okay. Why was that, Peg? Did they do this?
Cuyahoga River was on fire right before that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, can you imagine? Has anybody been in the Cuyahoga River on a kayak or something? So, yeah, it was not really the water on fire, it's what was on and in the water was on fire. So we are celebrating Earth Day. Why do we still celebrate Earth Day?
Because we like holidays.
Oh, okay.
We live on Earth.
Because why?
Because we live on Earth.
Because we live on Earth. Right. And what do we still need to do? Help it. Take care of it. Right? Okay. So what is the Earth now? We keep talking about the Earth. What is the Earth? Who wants to tell me what's on the Earth? I keep putting this thing away. I don't know what what's Earth? What does that mean?
What does it mean, you mean?
Yeah, like what is Earth?
Earth is a planet.
It's a planet. That's a good one. What else? What else is Earth?
It's where everything lives.
It's where everything lives. Anybody else?
It's where everybody lives.
It's where everybody lives.
It's so people can survive.
People can survive. Juliet said it's where everybody lives. Who's everybody?
Everybody's everybody.
Everybody, like all us people?
Yep.
What else lives here?
Animals,
Animals,
plants. Animals and plants. Trees.
and we are animals, that's true, yes.
Trees.
Uh-huh.
Bugs or insects.
Bugs or insects, yes.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Vegetables.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes. I don't have to.
Oh, look what I brought today. He's hiding.
Yeah, that's a worm.
Who helped us make our worm bin or has been working on with the worm bin that we have in the classroom? Hawthorne helped us put it together.
That's the only person that's within.
Yeah, here he is. There's quite a few. See that? There's some soil with some worms in it.
Can I see?
Yeah, there's quite a few worms. I just reached in there and grabbed a handful, and there they are. See? Oh, that one wants out. Thank you. Yeah, you can hold on to it. Just don't spill it because they live there. Yeah, you see 'em? Okay, thank you. Everyone's in charge here, keeping me on track. Anyways, so those are all things that are part of Earth, right? So there's two things I didn't hear mentioned. Like we talked about soil. What else do we have?
Sunlight and water.
Sunlight and water, yeah. Sunlight comes to the earth yeah, we need it, right? And water. What else? Things you can't see, right? There's little living things.
Like air. You can't
Air,
see air.
right? We can't see air.
All around you.
Yeah, it's part of our atmosphere, right?
Yep.
Like all here. And there's some things in the earth we can't see. Like worms are kind of large compared to a lot of
You can
things.
see it right through. You can see air. You can see stuff right through air.
Right.
Like
Yeah, absolutely. Cannot see black holes. That is true. We don't have any here on Earth, I don't think. But so there's all this stuff above the planet and around the planet that's all part of kind of what we need to live, for all the beings to live. Okay, so what's the smallest thing you've ever seen on Earth? You've seen an ant that's really small?
wait, I know. I see that fire ant.
A fire ant. It's the smallest thing you've ever seen.
Was a piece of paper, like a really
A really tiny piece of paper. Anybody else? Ellie?
a small piece of glass.
A tiny little piece of glass? Mm-hmm. Glass is made from sand, right?
Yes, and then do that, and then gig, and then gig.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marian.
Bubbles.
Bubbles. You've seen tiny bubbles. Yeah. Uh-huh. Julie?
A kernel of sand.
A kernel of sand. Okay. And what's like the biggest thing you can imagine on the earth?
The ocean.
The- Yeah, that's a good one. You were right. That's a big one.
Or a whale.
Or a whale. I was thinking about a whale too. Like, yeah, we are tiny compared to even a small whale. Mm-hmm.
Even a baby whale.
Mm-hmm.
You know there's a dinosaur that starts with an H that's tinier than...
I did not know that. Let's talk about that one later because I do want to learn that. Okay, so I told you, you've defined all the Earth things. I told you that this is a UU holiday, right? I think it's the best UU holiday, and the reason why it is the best UU holiday is because why? You have your hand up. Oh, we have not opened this.
I want to open it.
Golly, are we crazy here? Okay, excuse me.
Both open it?
Yes, just pull it up. It wouldn't fit was the problem. What do we got?
Whoa.
Hold it up so everybody can see.
It's a ball. It's a
It's an Earth globe with what?
That's a string. String all over it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all the garbage.
No, that's the interdependent web. That is the broken interdependent web of life all around the planet, okay? Got it? It's garbage too. You're right. Okay. It's twine, so we can use it for something. So, you know, we've talked about that before, right? The interdependent web? All right. So that's why it's a good UU holiday, because we value the earth and taking care of the earth. Why? Because we all are beings here, right? And if we have to take care of the smallest beings or the largest part of the earth and the atmosphere, won't do well. Did you all bring up your little objects that you picked up at the door? Go get them. Everybody get your little object that you picked up at the door. Does anyone not pick up an object at the door other than the cup of dirt? Did everybody get one? You set it down somewhere. You had coral. I don't know where it is, honey. There's some shells over here, bud. Okay. So we're going to do a little meditation. I want everybody to set your other things down, please. Yeah, that's wonderful. And you can take it out. It was fragile, and I didn't. It's okay. You can take it out of the basket if you want. No, it does not sting. It's dead. Well, or it might be the molting. It was a cicada. I mean, it's still a cicada, just not a living cicada. Okay. Everybody ready? I invite everyone to take your object. Okay? And we're going to do a little meditation on the small right now. On the small. So first, when we get ready for a meditation, ground yourself in whatever feels comfortable for you, whatever you want to move into to be comfortable. And you're going to close your eyes for a minute if that's comfortable for you, and we're just going to count in order to quiet ourselves. Are you ready? Yes. 1, breathe. 2, breathe. 3, breathe. Okay. I would like you to plan on focusing your view of the world down to the small item that you have in your hands. Right now, that small item, I want that to be the whole world for you. Once your mind is calm and present, open your eyes and look at your world. I want you to look and study every detail. If there's a detail that catches your eye, pause and look at it a little longer. Don't judge this thing that you've got, this object that you've got. Try to find connections between the object you have and the world as your world starts to open and get a little bigger. What is connected to the object that you've got? Look at the light on your object. Move it around. Does it have any colors that change with the light? What other colors does it have? Are the edges sharp? Are they soft? Is it flexible? Or is it firm? Is it rough? Or smooth? Just try and observe it. Try and observe it. Refrain from naming things about it or judging it, or if you can. But let your mind flow to the connections that what you have has to the other things on earth. Thank you. The art of noticing, or the presence of noticing the smallest things, is a really good skill for us to hone. Because without these little things, small is all, right? To get the big, you need the small. And to get our life and our planet and all the things, we need the small. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Each week, we come into this community for support, for connection, to put our burdens down for just a moment and to recharge. Many of us come in to this sanctuary with things heavy on our heart. The loss of a loved one, a difficult time. Whatever is weighing on your heart today, I encourage you to come up and to place that sorrow, that trouble, that worry onto this stone, to drop it into the water, to let it go. And if there is something that lifts your heart, if you are that gardener who is just itching to get into your garden and are so happy to get your hands dirty on the beautiful days we've had, if you are so excited to have somebody graduate, if there is a happiness that lifts you today, I encourage you to place that happiness on this stone and let its joys ripple out to everyone. Chris Struzik from our lay pastoral care team is here. And if there is something that's troubling you and you need someone to talk to, Chris will be glad to set up an appointment with you, with either himself or one of our other lay pastoral care associates. And if you would like me to visit you this week, come up, tap me on the shoulder, grab my hand, let me know. And after the service, we can schedule an appointment, because I'd love to hear what is going on with you. So please now join us in our Joys and Sorrows ritual as we sing Spirit of Life.
Our faith is centered on the belief that we can make this world a better place for all who dwell in it. In order to realize that vision, we need both the motivation and the means. Your donation helps the community put its faith into action by supporting our programming and facilities. This morning and throughout the month of April, donations that are not designated for another purpose will be split with the Trinity United Church of Christ breakfasts. Each weekday, Trinity UCC serves a hot breakfast in their fellowship hall to anyone in the Worcester community. The offering will now be collected and gratefully received.
is my portion. My constant friend is He. His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eyes on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Let not your heart be troubled. His tender words I hear, and resting on His goodness, I lose my doubts and fears. Though by the path He leadeth, but one step I may see. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Whenever I am tempted, whenever clouds arise, when songs give place to sighing, when hope within me dies, I draw me closer to Jesus. From care He sets me free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. For His eye is on the sparrow, and I know, yes I know, and I know He watches me. He watches me.
Please join me in this unison reading. The words are on the screen. Let us be grateful when we are able to give. For many have privilege. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. Let us be grateful even for our needs, so that we may learn from the generosity of others.
Can I ask you guys a question? Do you guys do any gardening? No? Do your parents ever ask you to help out digging in the garden? No? You don't even have a garden? You know what? You are lucky. Can I tell you about when I was your age? My mom had a garden. She did. She had this garden in our little mobile home lawn parking lot area, and she took care of that garden like you wouldn't believe. She was out there in the morning. She planted all these annuals and perennials and just landscaped this beautiful, beautiful garden. It was something that grounded her, and she enjoyed immensely. And me, being the only son, obviously, I would enjoy this too. So she made me come out with her and pull all the weeds and dig all the dirt, and I couldn't stand one single second of it. I don't like gardening. I am sorry. I have tried. I live with gardeners. I respect gardeners. How many of you garden? Yeah, this is a standard UU congregation. If 70% don't garden, I'm a little concerned. How many of you are master gardeners? There we go. As I was saying earlier, UUs have the highest master gardener per capita of any denomination. Maybe the Wiccans have a little more. Maybe. There is crossover, right? Like cross-pollination. We're not going to go too far into that. So, I never got into gardening because gardening was always a chore. This disinterest in gardening extends to houseplants, right? I had the best ability to kill the most hardy of houseplants. And the reason why is very, very simple. I just forget, right? I just have a tendency to forget about them. And my wife loves houseplants. She absolutely loves them. And I remember when I got the job at Arlington, Virginia, I had my own little office, and Wendy comes to visit me, and she's like, "You need some greenery in here, because that would be so welcoming." And I'm like, "You know what, Wendy? You're absolutely right. Nothing says welcome like a bunch of dead plants." And so 3 months later, she gets me plants for that office. All fake. My wife is smart. You can't kill what is not alive. In 2021, I was called to this congregation, and after the vote, the search team and I were out in the circle over here. Everybody was celebrating, and Danny Shantz, who was leading the search team, had a gift for everybody on the search team to congratulate them on a job well done. What was it? You got a plant, didn't you? I got a plant! Little succulent plant. "Oh, don't worry, you can't kill that." "Oh, yes, I can. Oh, yes, I can." I took the one that I thought had the most beautiful pot because it's like, at least I'll be able to use that for something at some point in time. And I was like, I'm not telling them that I'm going to end up killing this thing. It's such a happy moment. We're just going to let it go.
That could have been very bad symbolically.
It could have.
Good choice to not do.
And it's almost like we're going somewhere with that symbolically. And I put it up on the mantle in my office, this little tiny succulent of some sort, don't know what kind. And I left it there. It's like, I'll put it on the mantle because it says indirect sunlight, and the mantle's far away from the window. And the mantle's also something that I don't really pass by very often, so it was kind of out of sight, out of mind. And after about a year, what do you think happened? All the leaves fell off. I had a stick in a pot. Yay! Stick in a pot! Following spring, my wife and daughter, the gardeners, are getting that itch. It's time to plant. We need to cultivate seeds. We need to get stuff ready for the garden. And they are starting to look around for little pots to put seeds in and do all this stuff. And I'm like, "Hey, I have a pot you can use." And I go take the pot off the mantle, and I hand it to my daughter, and she looks at it, and she goes, "There's something growing in here." Right? I was like, "What? No, there isn't." She's like, "Yeah, there is." And I'm like, "Okay. Well, why don't you just dump it out? It's on its last legs." And she looks, she's like, "Why did you have this on the mantle?" And I said, well, it said indirect sunlight. And she's like, indirect doesn't mean no sunlight. Why don't you put it by the window? Okay, I'll put it by the window. Only space in my office by the window is right by the bathroom and the record player. I don't know if any of you have noticed this, but traffic to the bathroom could be pretty high. So I put it by the bathroom, and it started that every once in a while I'd go by the bathroom and I'd see the pot and I'd just touch it. Touch the dirt. Oh, this is dry. Bathroom's right there. Shh. Dunk.
Please don't tell me you did it in the toilet.
No! That's a story about fish for another day. And so I started to put a little water in it. And what do you think happened, you guys, when I started putting water into this little thing of dirt? What do you think happened? Oh, but that's not all. It started to grow, and it started to get a buddy. So I had to talk to Willow, and I was like, Willow, can you replant the other half of this in a different pot? Sure, I could do that. And then my wife noticed that things were growing in my office. And she's like, I have this plant that hasn't been doing anything. Can I just put it here and see what happens? And what do you think happens when it's by the other two plants that are getting water? So this plant that was just a leaf turns into this. And then one day, Steve Berg decides to leave a bunch of jade plants over there. Did people take some of those jade plants? Was it you who left the jade plants? Somebody left a bunch of jade plants. Well, so I took one for my home office, and it got bigger. But I didn't just take one for my home office. There's actually one now that lives in my office next to my Keurig, because if there's one thing I'm always putting water into, it's my coffee machine. So every time I have to refill my coffee machine, guess who gets a drink of water? So now I have a succulent garden. I don't know I know this is a jade plant. Anything else, I don't know what it is. Some of my master gardeners, I can tell you're already looking at it going, oh, I know what that is. All right. You can tell me after service. I'd really appreciate it. What I don't like about gardening is the intensity of it, is the intensity of labor that I perceive it to have. When you say gardening, you know what I think of? Weeding, digging, watering, pruning, mulching, all of this hard labor. I imagine this need to figure out, I need to know what the soil pH, what climate zone I'm living in is, and I want to know what spot is going to have the most sun to handle those plants that really need a lot of sun, and what do I put in those really shady areas that don't have a whole lot of sun? And according to my wife, the answer is always hosta. I knew that would be a gardening joke. It is too much. It is too much for me to think about gardening. It is such a big idea. I don't want to have anything to do with that. It's too big for me to handle on my own. How often do we find ourselves putting something aside because how we imagine it to be is too big? Yeah, what I think about a lot with that is justice work. I have a lot of people, and I'm sure everybody here is concerned with some justice issue. Racial justice, economic justice, LGBTQ rights, climate change, all of them together. How many of you feel that that is just overwhelming to take care of? Yeah. If you're not overwhelmed by the world, you're not paying attention. maybe you imagine what the work is to do, and that is just too much for you. I can't solve racial justice on my own. I can't solve the war in the Middle East on my own. And maybe even thinking of what the steps are to take care of that feel like it's too big. How many of you don't want to ever go to a protest because you're afraid of violence? That's real, right? A lot of people think that social justice work means going out there and marching in the street because it's the most visible. That is like big-time gardening for social justice, right? It takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of planning, takes a lot of commitment. And there's a lot of work in social justice that is small and beautiful and necessary. How many of you just write a letter to somebody? Letter to the editor, right? How many of you, for when there's doing something like a protest or a march or something, want to be the person who makes sandwiches for people to take with them or make sure people have water? How many of you want to be the ones that afterwards get to talk to them and just talk them down if there was something horrible happening? Right? There are lots of ways to be involved that are beautiful and small. That doesn't mean they don't carry weight. That doesn't mean they don't make a difference, because the smallest of actions can make a very important difference, even if it's just moving the plants to a sunnier spot near water. And what is really good about these small actions is they let us know just how much power we really have. They show us what the results can be from just trying. Am I ever going to be that guy who gets on his hands and knees and pulls out weeds? Probably not. But I'm in my grubby clothes today. Maybe I'll get out there and try a little bit of it, just to see what it's like. Maybe I'll try a little bit and say, you know what, that's not for me. I'm going to go in and make sandwiches, get water, keep people's spirits up. Little differences show us the power we have and make us want to lead into it. You know, I walk into stores now and look for the succulent department. Yeah, it's getting dangerous, folks. I hope you remember, the small is good. The small has impact. Just watering a little something can have a big effect. Don't discount the small, my friends. It's what keeps us going. May it be so.
I have a succulent for him at home that needs a little more love than I seem to be able to give it.
I'm going to be getting a lot of succulents.
Does everyone have some soil, whether you brought it with you or picked one up at the door? If you don't, there's some more right here. So today is our soil communion. And I asked people to bring soil from a place that was special to them, or maybe from some sacred ground to them, or what you have if you've picked up a cup is from our gardens here that will return to our gardens today. Spend a few minutes looking at your soil, exploring it. That's holy ground that we all walk on. And we're going to explore it and honor it. We're going to give voice to all of those countless multitudes in your hand. You hold multitudes right now. All of the microorganisms and the macroorganisms that are out there, we're going to honor that today too. Those things that we interexist with on this planet. Some of you may know this. Excuse me. There's more microorganisms in a handful of healthy soil than there are humans on this earth. That kind of blows my mind. That's billions of life forms, billions. And it's like a sponge. Healthy soil is kind of like a sponge. It absorbs the rainfall, it filters our water. That sponge is used to nourish plants. These seedlings emerge. They reach for the sun. Stir it up a little bit. And then those seedlings, they draw in carbon and other elements for the air, turn it into simple sugars for us to eat or for other creatures to eat. Plants make more sugar than they need, and they send it out for their roots into the soil to nourish the abundant life in the soil. What's it smell like? What's that dirt smell like over there? I'm sorry, that's dirt, that's sand. This is soil. What does the soil smell like? Did you guys smell it yet? See if it smells different from the sand. So in time, everything dies and returns it can be returned to the soil. And it doesn't actually stink always once it gets back into the soil. It might stink on its way in. This is from our worm bin. I mentioned this earlier. It's in room 2 if you want to see it. It smells like earth, almost like paper. But there's worms in here, and it's worm poop, really, is what it is. But that's what happens. In regeneration in soil is kind of a complex, really highly developed living system that works so well when it is allowed to, when it's encouraged, supported, and tended to with care. Of all the beings on the planet, we have the smarts to be able to do things that might help us fix damage in our planet. We can understand how this works. So we can encourage it and we can tend it. So today, many of you brought a little bit of your soil, a little bit of the soil where you might find your peace, where you might find your power or your joy. Maybe it came from your garden. Maybe it came from your playground. Maybe your favorite hiking trail. Maybe you have soil from the resting place of someone or something that you loved. There's power in all of that. So in a moment, we're going to begin our soil communion. I just want you to take a second to turn to your neighbor. We'll only spend a minute. And share about the soil that you have brought and that connection for you. Or if you didn't bring any, please share a place or time when you have just felt really connected to the earth that is under your body. You may share. We'll leave this here. All right. Will you turn this over for me? This out of the way. Got a digger. Thank you for sharing and taking just a moment with community. All right, everybody, it's time for soil communion. It's time for soil communion. So did you bring dirt with you today?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So here's what we're going to do. our soil is going to go in this pot. So everybody who has soil is going to come up those stairs over there. And yeah, thank you. Come up those stairs over there, and you're going to go by the soil and put your soil in there. There's a trash can if you need, and then you go back out this way. I don't recommend stepping this way. Just go out that way. All right. So I want you to come down and share your soil with our community of faith and trust that we will be doing something miraculous and transformative with it. The children are starting a garden this year, so I expect that's where it's going. As the music begins, move forward and place your soil in our inverted chalice. Slow down, slow. I'll hold it for you, sweetie. Can you reach? Yeah. Go ahead. No, just one. Just one. There you go, sweetheart. Thank you. It's okay. The soil that we have gathered together today will be mixed into the soil of our fellowship gardens. And as we witness its nourishing strength, may it help us grow in body and spirit as we come together to share the work and reward of our efforts together. As we offer this blessing, I invite you to respond after each spoken line with, "We bless this soil."
In the knowledge that we are all of us imperfect, but come together in communities of grace,
We bless this soil. In the belief that we humans share an origin and a common destiny, we bless this soil.
In a sustaining faith in human redemption and growth, we bless this soil.
In the wisdom of science that tell us soil is an important part of our own health and happiness, we bless this soil.
In an understanding that all living creatures are connected and have a right to healthy soil, we bless this soil.
In hopes that we all continue to grow together in mind, body, and spirit,
we bless this
soil.
soil. May it be so. Friends, please rise in body or spirit and join us for our closing hymn, For the Beauty of the Earth, number 21 in the gray hymnal.
Back into the space of the world and our everyday lives, we are going to bless this unique worship gathering of people, one that is only what it is today and will never happen again. We're a unique gathering today. But we'd like to do this. We're going to do a circle closing and gathering. So we are going to circle around the room. Put your hand on the shoulder of the person next to you. Bring the circle up across here, not down through there. And let's leave a little room at the door to always allow the person we don't know to join us. So, and those who are helping me with the benediction, those young people, come on up over here by me, please.
Do something like, yeah.
Up
Something
this
like
way.
this. Yeah.
This way.
Here.
Yep.
Come on up. Come on up. All right.
Are you a good reader?
All right. Let's get about 4 or 5 people on the chancel. All right. Don't need everybody. All right. There we go. Take hands. There. We might need to, okay.
Come on up here.
Come on up.
Okay.
Again.
Juliet?
Yeah. Julia.
Juliet's first, and then Ellie. Yeah, so, and we're gonna pause. Okay, so right here, you're next. You're okay. I'll let you know, we're gonna pass the paper down, okay? Open,
right,
close
all
the
right.
circle, close
I'm about to say, we
the
could
circle.
probably
All right.
draw the circle wide, draw it wider still.
Or close it.
Yeah. Draw.
All right, this is a unison. This is our unison benediction for today. So you will see the words printed. You are unison.
That is way too small.
Okay? Everybody ready? Trying. I gotta be with these kids too. Okay. Juliet starts. Yep.
All right. Camera, Joyce. Ready? Ready? Let us covenant.
Covenant from one another. Let us covenant from one another.
To keep faith with the source of life, knowing that we're not our own. Earth made us.
Let us
Let us
covenant
covenant
with
with
one
one
another. To keep faith with the community of resistance, never to forget that life can be saved from that which threatens it by even small bands of people choosing to put into practice an alternative way of life.
Let
us covenant with one another.
To seek for an ever deeper awareness of which springs up inwardly in us.
Even when our hearts are broken by our own failure or the failure of others cutting into our lives. Can you do the one right there? That starts with the word even.
Even when you have done all we can and life is still broken.
Thank you. There is a universal love that has never broken faith with us and never will. Can you read this one? Do you want to read this one?
This is the ground of our home.
Hope. Very good. Very good. And the reason we can be bold in seeking to fulfill the promise. Let us covenant with one another. Blessed be.
Blessed be. Our postlude now is going to be by Charles Williams.
All right. Nothing like a little chaos. Is good. Do you want me to extinguish his channel?